Tim, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I'm
Sure,
not
go
sure
ahead.
how locked up you are this morning. There's always this balance when you have provincial critic areas, and of course we have our district issues. I'll just touch on transportation, and then I want to move into apprentice, which is huge provincially. But transportation issues, I know they're huge all around the province, but boy, when I get off that ferry and I'm driving through my district, by the time I get home, I'm so infuriated. When I leave, I've just worked in town for a couple of days. When I leave the city and I drive back to my district, I know why people feel like they're second and third class citizens, and I'm going to get that when I go out and about to the festivals, because I'm driving on the same thing they're driving on. And Tim, people will say there's bad roads everywhere. There's different degrees of bad roads. Here in the district, from Mary's Harbour down to Charlottetown Branch, I have been pushing and pushing and pushing to get some stone on the road. The life of a stone top on a gravel road is about 5 years. Our road went through in 2001. I don't think we've had any stone on since. We might have had a patch here and there. And the graders have nothing left to grade. They're down to bedrock. I found out today that the local contractor here is after going through a whole fleet of graders. So that'll tell you what they're dealing with.
Well, my dad, as you may know, used to do before he passed away with Labrador Construction. He did a lot of those roads. They went through a lot of graders, and the challenge, as you know, is when there are not roads that are paved, and there's a bigger debate about that sort of investment. We don't have time to get into that one today, but even maintaining those roads is a tough thing to do, and you're right, people do deserve it. But you do blow a lot of tires, you blow a lot of equipment, and I can only imagine how frustrating it can be.
Well, Tim, when someone comes up to me and says, do you know what the road is like now? I say, look at my vehicle. I look like I came from Afghanistan somewhere, the windshield, because I'm on the road as much as anyone. But it's a safety issue. It's huge, and my thing is right now, what I'm calling on government to do is to get some stone on that road, because come October, when we get the rain, and when you don't have the stone, the rain goes down into the road and you get a thaw, it's going to be impassable for the many, many people that use that road every single day to commute. You know, you've got kids that are traveling on that road for school trips, social workers, teachers. We're a little cluster of communities now that all rely on each other for services. I have gone back to the department numerous times. I met with them last week, and the answer I always get is, Lisa, we're monitoring it. There's nothing there to monitor. It's bedrock. I don't know what they're monitoring. Two other points I want to make on that.
Yeah, quickly if you can, Lisa. I got to give you about 1 minute, then we got to take a break. So you got 60 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, the brush, we have not had any brush cutting money for years and years and years, and it's now grown up. I'm going to tweet a picture shortly. I'll have to connect you in that. Right out on the road, huge safety issue. We've asked for moose signs a number of times. I had a senior person in the Department of Transportation tell me last week they don't normally put up moose signs until there's serious accidents. I was absolutely appalled with what I heard. If I'm on the road and I see moose in a certain area every time I travel, why isn't that acceptable to put up moose signs? Because historically we've not had them in this area. That's why we need to get it out and educate the people. You need to be careful and watch your speed here. So am I going to be able to get to my other point now? After
if you can nail it in 10 seconds, you can have it.
Absolutely. I want to talk about the apprentices. I can hold until you come back and do that.
All right, why don't you give me a call back next week and we talk about the apprentices. We do have to take a break here. We've had a good conversation now, but happy to have you on next week, and you can tell me how those festivals went too, and we'll get into the apprentices.
I'll call you on Monday morning and talk about that. Thanks for your time. On a positive note, you have to give credit where credit's due. I'm glad the government heard us on calcium and brought it back. About half our communities are done, but we're still waiting on a number of towns wondering why they don't have the calcium yet. Called a company in Quebec. They only speak French, so I'm still working on that today to find out. Terrible, but we were happy with that. You have yourself a great weekend.
Okay, good to talk to you, Lisa.
For your time. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. That's Lisa Dempster, MHA from Labrador, Cartwright-L'Anse, Clair.